Warning! Graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. For today's video we're going to go to the Pick Your Own farm. This is some early footage we took on our first ever recce. We've identified that acre and a half of hazelnut grove up the top there, that hill, as a possible place to go, stick a feeder, and as it is, if you've watched our previous videos you'll know that's exactly where we did end up putting one. Right at the top of the hill. You see it was windy then, as it is most days, and those are the hazelnut trees, and rather unsurprisingly this is where they cause a lot of damage. They also take other fruit, even strawberries they've been seen taken by the owner, believe it or not. There's quite a few beehives around the place, which is unsurprising really. They're required to help fertilise the flowers to produce the fruit. This is a cherry field, or orchard even. Right at the top of that hill is where we eventually plump for a feeder. Lots and lots of fruit. This is a bit of footage that's already featured in one of our videos. The reason I'm showing it to you all again is hopefully you'll see exactly what I saw when I reviewed the footage. I'll sped it up a bit now. There's peanut butter in a couple of locations on here, and it has been disappearing. This is the first squirrel I've actually caught on film eating it. If you look at the film, you'll see it keeps its head rather still. I'll take advantage of that right now with a shot to the head. And once I'd noticed they kept their head pretty still, I wanted to work out a way to capitalise on this phenomena where the head's pretty much still the whole time they're feeding, allowing me to take a perfect headshot and get a humane quick kill. So let's see what I came up with. I'll be using my F.A.C Rapid 12 in 2.0 calibre. I'll be launching my favourite pellet in this rifle, which is the Crossman Premier. Here I am at the feeder. I've already got a pheasant wandering about. As per all our other videos, we're not going to shoot it. There's no reason to. We don't want to eat it. We're not allowed to shoot it anyway. I do believe it's out of season at this point. But off it goes. Here comes one of his girls. He's probably looking for her. And she was hidden in the bush all along with that awesome camouflage she's evolved. I do think they look quite pretty when you get close up to them. They come in and have a free feed. Maybe I should have put that a little bit taller. It does attract them. We do like to see animals around the feeder. We do think it gives the impression to the squirrels that everything's right with the world and it's nice and safe to come in. And also it's a welcome distraction while you're waiting for them to turn up. They're quite a bit smaller than a male, but she can still reach. I'm pretty sure she'd just stretch her neck a little bit further if it was a bit higher anyway. And she eats her fill and then she wanders off. Might give up filming after a minute or two. This commotion over here, the one on the left is trying to get over to beat the one up on the right. The one on the right doesn't know quite where to run, and the one on the left is wondering why you can't get at him. They're both running down a hill now. Not long after, I do think this is King of the Hill. He was doing all the attacking, albeit into the net. He's come back up, he's on guard. It's his hill, and no one else is coming onto it, unless it's one of his girls. He sits there for quite a while. Not sure if he can see me, I doubt it. I think he's more worried about other pheasants. He sits there for absolutely ages. He's gone into stealth mode. Like I said before, he sits there for so long, I got bored of filming him. Anyway, back to my idea. You can see, if you look very carefully in that circle there, there is some peanut butter on the end of a stick that points directly at me. So anything that wants to eat it has to look directly at me while stretching out its body, allowing me a full-on headshot, and a pellet should track them into the body. Well, that's the theory anyway. But I'm not seeing any squirrels. The sun's come out. Because it's shining on matey here, I decided to film him again in all his glory. Did look quite striking on the morning. Surprisingly how long he sat there for, like I said before. Definitely on guard duty. Pretty birds, also very stupid as I said before. Doesn't seem to care what I'm doing, although I am in a hide. Anyway, he gets bored of that eventually, decides he's hungry, comes in and feeds, and just snakes off to the right there. I think he's going looking for some adversaries to fight. Finally, I actually get a squirrel on a feeder. It's gone nowhere near the peanut butter. He's sat on the ledge, looking at me. So I don't care where they are, in all honesty, as long as I can shoot them. And that one's offering me a nice set up straight shot. I'm trying to take the shot and realised I hadn't cocked the rifle from when I took my zero shot when I arrived. I put him on alert by cocking the rifle. He sat and looked straight at me. That's always a good thing to happen. I delivered a perfectly good pellet to the top of the head. A few lame kicks. It's pretty much all over there. Quite happy with that shot. Just a shame he wasn't on my plank. Like I said, this is a proof of concept day out. Not to worry, maybe next time. I've spotted this magpie. They're so wary, I haven't bothered with the camera, I've just gone straight with the sniper cam. I take the shot. It is a fraction low looking at it there. That's why it's managed to flap a couple of times. He's about 10 foot to the right, crashed onto the field. I'm looking over the top now just to make sure. A little flutter and he's dead. I'll go and retrieve him in a minute. I have a plan. And this is my cunning plan. I'll try to annoy the magpies and the squirrels all at once, but not right by the feeder. I'll put it over to the side a bit and see if I can draw something down. I've gone all medieval on this magpie and mounted his head on a bit of a spike, which I'll show you later. In the meantime, I've spotted movement. There's a squirrel around here somewhere. I'm not sure where it's got to. I'm not sure if I've spooked it. There he is. Just stuck his head out to the side. I think he's made my position, but I've managed to get the camera just onto him, and I'm watching the camera screen hiding in the middle of the hide, so hopefully he can't see me move. I'm doing all my watching on the camera screen. I'm hoping he's going to come and sit on there, at which point I'll pick the rifle up and shoot him. He's going to sat up on his back legs. So that's a good hard look at me. Very frustrating this. In hindsight, I wish I'd picked the rifle up and tried for him. It's a good old stare. Very irritating indeed. I'm not quite sure what he made of me. Normally you get a stern look, they normally give up. And their belly rumbles, they go and have some food. So I'm still expecting him to go to the feeder. See how still he is there? I just envision the crosshairs moving across his head. And the pheasants are still making a racket in the background. I could have shot him 10 times over. I did think if I moved he might spot me. So I held on and hoped he'd go back for a feed. Which is not to be. Slowly but surely exits to the right and off down the hedgerow. Never mind. Hopefully he'll come back next time. That was a bit disappointing. I had to wait a long time to see that one. It's an absolute pleasure to be out today. Sun's out. Beautiful day. A lot of birds singing. A lot of animal noises. Everything's going about its business. Very relaxing. Old pheasants are having a bit of a tantrum again. They're wandering around all day. Watching this fella. I think that was the king of the hill. It's hard to tell in silhouette. He's telling everyone just how important he is. Still, that's all I get for the day. This squirrel, right over the top of the eyebrow there, straight into the brain. Quite happy with that shot. I think it's a full pass through. There's an exit wound there, about there somewhere. Over the eye, crossing the brain, bleeding out the ears. It's always a good sign. So I'm happy with the shot, even though it wasn't on my little plank. But I'm not giving up on that idea yet. Here's the magpie. This is what I meant by going medieval on him. Made a bit of a wire spike, some stainless steel welding wire, sharpened to a point. But that didn't work either, so not so much of a good day out for my little ideas, but a magpie and a squirrel's always good. We don't do any shooting here when it's open to the members of the public, for obvious reasons. We wait to the end of the year when it shuts down again, and I've come out to check the feeder. I left it pretty full, and now it's dropped almost to empty. So something's been on it, and it wasn't these earwigs. Seems to have set up home inside. I had to dig the hopper out to let the fresh stuff come through, remove all the germinating wheat, and I grossly underestimated the amount of wheat I'd need. I only had enough to fill it up halfway. But when I left, I loaded the lid and the plank with peanut butter, and I come back in a couple of days just to see how it's got on. And I was greeted by this. Quite stunning, really. In only 2 days, all the peanut butter's gone, and quite clearly, squirrels have been on it. So I reloaded it with even more, and vowed to come back the next day. On my way out, I spot all these crows. So these little black dots, loads of crows here. The reason I've come down here is to put this feeder up. Thank you for making that for me, Mark. I've loaded that with peanut butter as well. And as an extra, I put a blob on the base of all these telegraph poles, leading back to the hedge. There's a little blob on the bottom of all of those. Hopefully the squirrels will find the feeder a bit easier that way. And on my way out, it's getting on towards the end of the year, and these two fellows walking the road. So I vowed to come back up the next day and bring my 177 Rapid. This is part of my polymag testing phase, which you've already seen the results I had last time. I'm leaving my house at first light and heading out there. When I get there, it's a bit cloudy and typically windy as per usual. As you can hear the wind blasting up the hill. Have a quick look about. Just park the car. And I'll unload all my kit in a minute. I'm just going to show you this. I loaded it up yesterday at midday. So in one afternoon, enough squirrels have come down and completely cleaned that big blob up and give that one a bit of a pasting as well. You can see all the claw marks. I did wonder if it was squirrels or birds. I think it might have been a bit of both. So I settled down to wait. I'm expecting at least 4 or 5 squirrels today, by what I've seen. I just got to sit and wait for them to arrive. The first one arrives straight on the feeder. The wind is blowing from left to right here, quite a lot. I've only put the peanut butter on that plank. I didn't want to put on the lid. I wanted to test out the theory. And with a polymag, a straight on shot, and down it goes. You'll see the tip of the tail flapping around in a minute. I have to give this one a second shot. Because the pellet's so light, the wind's actually blown that one off course. I'd be much better off if I brought my firearm. It's a heavier pellet, moving faster, be less likely to be affected by the wind. The second shot's hit him exactly where I wanted to. And we got a dead squirrel on the deck. And the sun started to rise behind me, striking those hills in the distance. We should hopefully get some more animal action, whether it be birds or squirrels. It'll be something to look at on the feeder. Time's gone by a bit more now. Sun's got up a bit higher. The wind's still blowing quite well. Mr. Pheasant's the first to arrive. He comes wandering in from the left. I skipped the bit where he walked across, took his sweet time to do that. You can see by the squirrel tail, there's quite a strong left to right breeze. It's even ruffling Mr. Pheasant's feathers. He was there for a while, disappeared off. Back where he came. The camera's just to the left of where I'm shooting from. It's almost got a straight down the plank view. The morning's clicked on a bit further now. The sun's got higher in the sky. See all the trees missing their leaves. It's in the middle of winter. Even though the sun's come up, it's still quite cold. Mr. Robin has come to get some free calories that I provided. Wouldn't be surprised he was responsible for all the claw marks. He's having a good feed there. I didn't know robins like peanut butter, but you live and learn, eh? Still pretty windy, the birds are playing on the wind. I've been waiting a while now, not seen another squirrel. So there's the hide. I got to check on the one I shot. You can see the pellet's been blown to the right and went down his neck into his body. That second shot behind the eye was my follow-up shot. I'm reasonably happy with that. Polymouths went where they should have done. Got one squirrel, so I decided to go off and have a look at the other feeder. Get more crows and magpies down there. We'll have to get after these things at some point. I pulled up now by the hazelnut wood. It's quite sheltered here. I spotted a squirrel under the trees. The handy thing of that little rapid, very easy to use in the vehicle. I had it along by me. This fool squirrel, as he was foraging, stopped to see what I was. I dropped him where he sat, right in the side of the head. Happy with that one. That's the view back to the car. It's about 23 to 24 yards if I remember rightly. This one never knew what hit it. Might get me another tin of those polymags. As I go around to check the other feeder, I spot these two. It's our friends from the other day. They're having a wander around the farm. I did stop to see what they do. Looks like they think I'm going to feed them or something. Maybe they're used to seeing the farmer come round. They'll definitely come over to have a look. Boy and his girl out for a walk in the sun. I've driven round now. They followed me up here. So I start clicking at them to see what they'll do. Sounds like the girl one likes me. Making a lot of noise, isn't she? Quite fascinating to watch. Why would nature evolve such a funny thing on the front of your face? It's a bit ridiculous, really. Oh look, what's happening here? The boy at the back suddenly got bigger. I think he sees me as a threat. Either that or he's worried about his girlfriend. I did find them quite fascinating. Makes a change from pheasants. They also allowed me to get very close to them. They didn't seem very perturbed by me. I'm only a few feet away. Almost had to put a warning on this. Warning! Graphic turkey sex ahead. Do not watch if turkey sex offends you. Etc, etc. You know what the rest sounds like. It did make me chuckle. Looks like he's giving her a neck massage. I was going to say, we love you long time. It did make me chuckle. Was it good for you? No. Don't come near me now. Only upset him. I'm sure they thought I had food. Must be getting used to being fed around the farm. I thought you were supposed to take the lady for a meal before, not after. Oh well. Must apologise. So much turkey footage. I didn't think this one would make it past Christmas. Didn't think I'd see him again. He's all puffed up, big boy here. Does look sore. He should put some cream on that thing around his neck. That's how far he is from me. It's my toes. Very close indeed. Anyway, off to check the feeder. It's pretty much untouched. This one hasn't been visited the same way the other one has. You can see the blobs on the bottom of all of these. I've had to wedge it in some of the splits of the wood just to get it to hold on. The general idea is to draw them out the hedgerow. These hedges are very high, very thick, full of ivy. Loads of good places to make nests. And there is a lot of squirrels around here. Anyway, back to the car. I'm going home now. And these two are still here, watching me. I think they've sussed they're going to get no food now. I filmed them plenty today. Saw some things I didn't really want to see or know about turkeys. I'm trying to leave. I've had to put the camera back on, because as soon as I turn my back on this big fella, he's taking a cheap shot at me. Just put the camera back on to see if he fancied a bit more. As soon as I turn my back, he's trying to go for me. Rather amused me. Turn around the other way, and he hasn't got the minerals for it, old son. He's having a bit of a melt, as Paul Farley would say. I'm keeping the camera on him and turning my back, and every time he does, he goes for me. Still makes me chuckle now. I just stamped on the floor there to see what he'd do. Back away, son. I'm trying to get in the car now and keep the camera on him. That's an interesting experience. We both visit this place early 2016 to give it a go again, with much better results, as you'll see when the video is out in 2 weeks' time. This fellow ought to get himself off to the doctor to get that sorted out. And I'll leave you with a bit of archive rat footage just to round this video off. We're both out tonight. I'm using my Theobin Rapid prior to the upgrades I had done on it, and Bro's using his new S510. He hasn't had it long at this point. And there's a picture of the Rapid resting on our shooting sticks we use, and the grabber clipped to the side of it we used to pick up the dead bodies with. We're both using RWS Super Mags. We really do like these for ratting. And we get to the permission, which is our favourite rat permission, the poultry farm. This is in August, I believe. Lots of nettles about. This is one of the most popular areas. It's not normally recommended to move stuff on the night when ratting. They've got a good memory, and it upsets them if you move stuff. But I've cut a few of the overhanging nettles back, and I've put food at the base of the existing ones, and hope that their belly will get the better of them. Hopefully these little fellas will go to roost at some point, and be out of our way. And it's got dark, believe it or not, and the rats come out to feed already. This is what it actually looked like. I was messing around with the camera settings a bit. So I'll leave you with Bro to start off the evening. He's using the NS50 from Night Sight, same as I am. He catches one rather well there. It probably knocks his camera nearly off the back of his scope. There is some trauma going on with his magazine by the sound of it. He's fixed it. And the first rat's in the bag. Here comes another one. It's good if you can catch them in the open. Straight on headshot. Top of the head with 177 pellet. Barely a move off that one. Probably going to have a kick about if he went back. He starts scanning the hedgerows. You can see movement. We've had this problem before with nettles. Very difficult to see the rats sometimes. Get a lot of glare back off the leaf. The IR light reflecting in it. You see the odd eye now and again. We had a lot of this night, waiting for them to stick their heads out. Here's another potential target, which Bro Julie takes care of. There's another one at the back. Will he get a second chance? Doesn't look like it. As one runs off, another runs into view. But it pays to move around here. Bro spotted another eye under a shed. It's more like it, actually see something. Not sure if he's got that one then. Just the head poking out of a hole. Looks like it's a possibility that it's dead in there. Very difficult to retrieve though under a shed. Bro's tracking another one. He's right on the edge line. He's under the bushes, outside of the fences. See the eyes gleaming quite well. Bro shoots straight under the jaw of that one. Not to worry. There's another opportunity. That's more like it. Floated one in there just nice. They feel quite comfortable over there. That one's dead. And there's another one that's not hanging around. Nicely shot that one, Bro. Here's another one sticking its head out. And another nice headshot. Much easier when there's no nettles about. I say easy, but it's quite subjective. You still have to make the shot and do it over and over again. Here's another one, peering it from the shed, one below and one to the right by the look of it. I do believe he's hit that one with a straight on headshot. Just to show what you miss when you're looking. Another one's come into view there. He missed that one, he could have had a second shot. Another eye, side of the shed. I do believe he caught that with a good headshot. Over to me now. It's early on in the evening, just getting dark, and that bump on that telegraph pole caught my attention. I could see it a bit better with my eyes, see even better with the NV. Another hunter out after his dinner. Not that we're after our dinner at all, we don't eat rats. They get burned by the owner. I think they're such a beautiful animal. I'm not holding the crosshairs on it because I don't intend to shoot it. Very pleased to see that, worth coming out. Anyway, over to me now. I'm looking to see if I'm going to get any rats to come out to the feed in the nettles. I've seen some movement around here. I'm preparing myself for a shot. I heard a click of doom, so to speak, on my baby rapid. There's the eye of a rat. It's more like it. Keep still, son. Almost as bad as squirrels for head movements. Yes, I know I can shoot it any old where. We don't do that though. We'll get a good shot on him. I judged the head just perfectly there. I'll do a bit of super mag. And straight into the brain. And a few kicks. And that one's over and done with. I'm looking into the shed now. See all the poultry roasting. Back out again. More eyes in the nettles. Even with the ones bust down, it's very difficult to get a shot. It's more like it. No, I didn't hit that in the head, I hit that in the body. Heart and lung shot. Here it's squeal. There it is. I went over to investigate. Follow-up shot, not needed. Dead in the nettles. And that is pretty much why we go for headshots all the time. Anyway, on to the next rat. Seen a lot of this tonight. Too many stalks in a way, very fibrous. Sort of thing will deflect the pellet quite easily. You've got to wait for them to come out. And then promptly miss them as they move their head. It's not too good. Got to keep trying though. More eyes. Usually see movement before I put the NS50 recorder on. And again, too slow. They're gone. I'm playing around with the IR in vain hope of seeing one. Again I move. Another eye in the nettles. Just won't keep their head still. That's the big advantage with food. They usually keep their head fairly still. Or if you catch them sat there preening themselves, which they do quite a bit. On the move yet again. Another eye. I think I was freestanding on that one, judging by the way I was wobbling. The shot was good though, so that's alright. Quick reload. Just kicking in the bushes. Here comes another one. This is where I bust all the nettles down. I was hoping the food I put on the ground would give off some nice smells that would waft into the nettles and draw them out. They weren't exactly working very well though. Still too many sticks in front of this one. Here's another one. It's come out finally. And he's gone back in again. We knew before we did it that they wouldn't like having their environment moved around. They've got a very good memory. Don't see much in the dark. They can remember where things are. And if you move it around, they get suspicious. We did wonder whether their suspicions would be overcome by their grumbly belly. It doesn't seem to be the case. Anyway, there's a few about, but they ain't playing ball. Not because I've made any noises. The size of these ones, pretty much impossible to shoot through the bars at that angle. Again, we should have used food to draw these ones out. This is more like it. Went out in the open. And he sat up to preen himself. pellet's gone down the body. And I've shot under that one then. I'm not sure if I got him with that one. The first shot was definitely a good one, even though it was an insta-kill. Didn't last long. Too bad. It's a super highway. We're very quiet lately here. Had a good old look in there. As soon as I turned the camera off, a rat appeared. And I've wobbled and hit the side of the wood there. Not a good night at all, really. Waiting around to see if anything else turns up. It's more like it. There's one in the foreground. Just got to try to pick out his head. Thank you for that, Mr. Rat. It's quite a decent sized one, that. Looks like I caught him good. At the surface of the moon in there where the chickens have been scratting and the rats have been digging. No need for a follow-up shot on that one. Here's one inside of one of the cages. I think I've clipped the wire on that. Here's another fat one. And he's not stopping. More movement in the back of the superhighway. And that was the end of quite a disappointing session. We got put off by the drizzle that started to come in. You can see why this never made it to its own video. There's a few pictures I've taken. I'm not sure where they came in the actual scheme of things, apart from the one in the nettles. That's all we managed to pick. At least there's a few less. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.